Sakes.
I have never lost a ship. I can't believe you would ask such a question. Next.
How big is your ship?
Well, never quite big enough. You might have noticed how crowded it was, but I'm afraid if it were too large, it would sink. Yes.
Have you ever gone through an inspection? No. Expedition? No. Inspection? Yeah.
I have never been through an inspection because I do not stay in the United States. I'll be here for a short amount of time and then return back to get more immigrants. Yes.
Have anybody ever lost on board? Ever fell off the shark stand?
I prefer not to answer such questions, but yes.
Yes. Yes. His wife
Has what?
a goat. Has a goat chewed through the wall?
A goat, yes. So the immigrants bring all sorts of animals with them. Some of them do not make it, but those that do are a little bit unruly at times. Yes.
Do you like potatoes?
I do, yes.
Why can't your ship break with
There was actually over 100 people on there, but some of them were in first class, so you didn't see them as much. Yes.
Do you guys hand out free coupons for stuff?
Absolutely not. You must pay for everything here. Yes. Ooh, sharks tend to follow my ship, especially if immigrants drop things overboard. But no, they typically don't eat the boat itself.
Drop some people overboard. Have you ever seen a whale go like, Pam?
Yes, so the whales love to swim alongside the ships, especially after a storm. Any other questions before you move to your next station?
No.
Oh, yes. Can you throw people off board?
I try not to since they are paying customers.
I think that was
That's what Miani did to the frogs. She'd throw them off cliffs. Is that it?
If that's all you have, you may gather your things and form a line until it's your next station.
What's the worst thing you've seen?
Storms. I do not like sailing through storms because everybody vomits everywhere and it is such a mess to clean up. Yes.
What's the funnest trip that you've ever gone to?
Oh, I love these journeys to the United States of America. There is nothing like seeing the Statue of Liberty after weeks of nothing but ocean.
How much vomit do you see per day?
Too much. Thank you. Yes.
Have you seen anyone go overboard?
Perhaps, but I prefer not to discuss such things for liability reasons.
Have a lot of people went overboard?
It is possible if people do not keep their arms and legs in the vehicle like I tell them to, that accidents may occur.
Have you met a sailor named Peter?
Peter? I think that I have, yes.
Have you ever hit an iceberg?
I have never hit an iceberg. We've always been able to avoid them. Yes.
Do you puke while driving?
I do not. I am a seasoned captain and I have my sea legs. Thank you. Yes.
Have you ever seen the Kraken?
I have not heard of such a thing. No.
Have you seen What about the
I have not. No. Yes.
Do your legs ever get jelly after you
I do. It is very hard work to be a captain and steer the ship, especially when we're going against the currents. Yes.
Do you see the red bluster?
No, I don't believe so. No. Are there any other questions? Questions? Yes.
How long have you been?
This is my first journey captaining a ship, so congratulations on making it this far. But I have worked as an apprentice for many, many years on other boats. Yes.
Have you seen the boat?
No, I don't think I have.
How many boats have you?
Oh, I've been doing it since I was very young. I did not have an opportunity to go to school, so I grew up on ships, and that's how I got my education.
So can you read and write?
I can read and write. It's a very important skill, especially the maps, to make sure that we get to where we need to go.
What's the largest animal you've seen in the ocean?
The whales. The whales that we saw on our journey over are by far the largest animals.
Okay. What's the worst thing you've seen? I mean, yeah.
The worst thing. Well, I do feel quite sad. It is very tragic when somebody passes away on the journey and doesn't make it.
What's the funniest thing that a person has done on your ship?
Fun funniest thing, I hate to say, it's really not a laughing matter. There's not much joy until we arrive in the United States on this journey. Yes.
What do you get angry at?
Do I get angry at passengers who don't listen and follow the directions? Of course.
What kind of animals do people bring on board?
I have seen goats. I have seen lots of dogs have been brought on this journey. It is always a little bit difficult, though, to make sure we have enough food for the entire journey and especially for the animals. So,
What's the weirdest thing you have seen on the boat?
the worst thing I have seen on the boat, besides all of the vomit, no, I think the vomit is probably the worst thing. Yes.
Is a ship kind of like cracked but kind of stay together before?
My ship has not cracked, luckily, but we do very extensive inspections before we take such a long week journey.
What's your favorite thing to eat on your journeys?
My favorite things to eat are at the very beginning of the voyage because that's when we have fruit and vegetables and bread. By the end of the journey, as you may have noticed, there's a lot more crunching in the bread. Yes, technically they're bugs, but I like to think of them as extra protein.
Has someone ever jumped overboard on purpose?
Not to my knowledge, no, not on my ship. Yes.
I forgot.
Right?
Do you see cats on the boat?
No, there is yet to be a cat. It's actually not very good luck, so I prefer not to have them on my ship.
Oh. Have you ever had someone fall over you?
Possibly yes, but I prefer not to discuss such things. If they had listened, we wouldn't have had that issue.
Has somebody ever been eaten by a shark?
No, although sharks do like to follow the ship for the things that passengers may accidentally drop as we are traveling.
Have you ever seen pirates?
I have not seen pirates, though I've heard the tales from other sailors that I have met.
Pirates real?
Yes, in fact they are, and many countries would support them to make sure they got a little extra money.
How long does it take to get to America?
It depends on the weather. Weeks and weeks and weeks. It can take up to 3 months depending on how things go. We never really are quite sure. We do not have to worry about such things, thankfully.
Wait. Come
Back to you, yes.
But still, do you have cannons?
We do have cannons, just in case, but they are tremendously heavy and not very effective for a passenger ship like ours. Okay, yes.
Have you ever got off the boat?
I do. At every port, I will get off and make sure that we have the supplies we need to go on the next leg of our journey. Okay?
So when you go back on the ship, what is the most amount of immigrants going back?
So unfortunately, some immigrants are not super happy or successful, so it is possible that some return with me, and that varies from the dozens and upward towards 100, yes.
How many members?
Oh, we try to fit as many people as possible. We want to make sure everyone has an opportunity, especially if they can pay. So it depends on the size of the ship that I'm sailing.
What's like the most number of passengers that you've taken?
Today, the highest number has been about 100.
You go, should numbers.
Only if I'm really upset. Any last questions before you go to the next leg of your journey? Yes?
What makes you mad?
What makes me mad? When passengers do not listen and follow my directions.
Do you have to go to a country to get every immigrant?
I do not. You all must come to the port to board my ship, so it is their responsibility to make their way to where we are leaving from. Yes. All right. Well, thank you, and I wish you the best of luck.
What is it like being the captain of all these immigrants?
It is exciting but exhausting. You never know how long the journey's going to be. You never know what the weather's going to be like, and you hope that most people will survive. Yes.
How long have you been captain?
I have only been captain for this voyage. This is actually my first voyage, but I've worked on ships for a very long time. I grew up on ships, and that's how I got my education. Yes.
What is the worst thing you've ever been through on the ship with immigrants?
Honestly, the sickness. When people get seasick, when they are vomiting everywhere, I don't much care for the job. Yes.
Is it freaky?
How so?
Are you scared immigrants are going to do something to you?
I'm not scared of the immigrants. The weather is by far the thing that keeps me up at night. Yes.
What's the longest journey you've ever done?
So the longest journey was 3 months. We had so many terrible storms. I didn't know if we were going to make it. Yes.
Have you ever sunk a ship?
I have never sunk a ship. Of course not.
have. How many languages have you speak?
I only speak English. I was born in England. Yes.
Do you only do it for money?
I do it for money and to give immigrants a new life.
What's the coolest thing you have seen on the ship?
The whales are unbelievable, and there's nothing like seeing the Statue of Liberty for the very first time.
Can you understand the immigrant's voice?
I can understand accents, absolutely, but if they're speaking in their language from their homeland, not so much, no.
Are you an immigrant yourself?
I return back to England after every voyage, back to London. Yes.
How do you get food on the ship?
Oh, this is an important question. So we load up as much fruit and vegetables and bread at the beginning of our journey. But you may have noticed that towards the end of the journey, the bread had some bugs in it and it was very stale and not very good. I like to think of it as extra protein.
What happens if you get sick?
If I get sick, then the rest of my crew has to take over for me. Yes, I have trained them well.
Have you ever seen a shark on your
I have. The sharks love to follow behind the ship for any scraps or debris that we are throwing overboard.
Do you throw people over?
I do not throw people overboard, no, but it is important that everyone keeps their hands and feet inside the ship because I am not responsible if someone accidentally falls overboard. So I would rather not say whether it's happened or not for liability reasons. Yes.
Have you ever met pirates?
I have seen pirates in the distance, but they have not personally attacked my ship since it is a passenger vessel. Yes.
Have you ever almost crashed into another ship?
Never! I am a very seaworthy captain. Yes.
I have 2 questions. What happens if you get killed? And have you ever seen someone get punched off the ship?
If something were to happen to me, then my first mate would take over. And unfortunately, sometimes there is violence aboard the ship if you live with this many people in such close quarters for weeks on end.
Maybe
Yes.
one more question?
Just one more.
What happens when people die? What do you do with their corpse?
Oh, unfortunately, it is very difficult because of space to leave them aboard, so we will have a ceremony and they will return to the ocean. Good luck on your journey!